for the ride or die for money, strictly for money. Survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm in need, cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus spoke. Power 21 questions like a warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. 2 words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This on that quiet storm. T-O-N-Y. Top of New York with a pitchfork.
Hey. Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanted me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this cases once do me dirty, I'ma find you lay out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself, rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help, they keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said broski you a star. I said brother hold it down.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Set!
Mayfield now from the 50. Evans has it left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, This is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and wearing all up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Baker Mayfield with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Jackson on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Balaj. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards there, the Chargers have a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Jackson on first down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Ross. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Throwing, Mayfield. And a catch right side by Evans. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Flush to his right, and seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Mayfield eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43.
Here we go now.
They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So second down, still 10 yards to go.
Right,
ball
now,
on the 43.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
A second down throw for Mayfield. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now let's go. Blue, 90. Blue, 90.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's got Evans. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. On 3rd down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. And even 40 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield shreds the tackle, and he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield, escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He dumps it off to Barkley. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. To go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. On third down, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And now here come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Jackson now on second and 10. Going for the deep ball. And he's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle to Evans. A gain of 6 there on first. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to let this one go deep. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on second and 10. Caught on the right side by Adams. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And this one is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Back there to that Philly. Here we go. Gun. Hot.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Check. Gun. Kill. Hurry up. Mike 56. Gun. Over. Hot.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
Let's see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard. Leopard.
A first down carry for Barkley. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now a carry for P. Ryan. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run forward Barkley, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. And it is Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
The toss out to Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Mayfield to throw it. Henry's got it out on the left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It can be a thankless job sometimes to be a kicker, but they're thanking him right now. That's now 4 field goals. He's kept him in the game.
He sure has, and that offense has got to find its rhythm because I'm not sure that just kicking field goals is going to allow them to win this game.
The Chargers getting set to go. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a 4th quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Got three down.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Flushed out right. Space to maneuver at the 40. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man open, it's Ross. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Flush to his right. Oh, what a move. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Here's Jackson dancing to his left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
On second down, here's Jackson. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Chargers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit!
Again, it's Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
They toss to P-Rye. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. Detroit.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield to Barkley on the check down. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And able to find Conley. Room here to run. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Detroit!
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Saquon Barkley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll try and run it up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit!
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest, and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10.
Over.
Toss play to Balaj. Finding room inside the 40 and down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. In for the score. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Now Jackson. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Raiders. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Sanders on for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add two more onto their lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
And that one results in 35 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Mayfield now on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light's still on for him.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.